Good afternoon. Today I am working on wrapping up the Hellwitch blank. So I'm going to be working on the colors, and this is going to be fun because this is a part I've been looking forward to for a while, and that is getting her skin tone done and the wings and just making sure this one is as good as I can get it. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I tried fiddling with some settings on my camera and I screwed it up. So that's why I look super blue. Anyway, I have some coffee with me and I'm gonna get to work, which is great. I'm really looking forward to this. So, time to do this. So I have all the browns that I used for her skin tone because her skin is what's described as cinnamon. And cinnamon is kind of a reddish brown tone. So that's what her skin is. I don't feel that I've purchased the perfect color. So I'm kind of having to mix a bunch to get what it is I'm looking for. And I need my hex chart. Yay, it's right here. So I'm gonna work on in this range of colors. So these are the ones that I'm gonna be using, and I have it just out in front of me, and it's kind of, since I'm showing it, this hex chart is my cheat sheet. I love this thing. For anyone who would like to get one, this is an unsponsored pitch because this is truly an incredible thing to have. And I get it off of sandyalnock.com, and she made this and it's amazing. And I absolutely love it. And the thing that's so great about it is that it shows you all the colors and what shades they're closest to. If you see, the numbers are kind of all over the place: 13, 55, 23, 15. And Copic has a specific coding system for their colors. But I'm not entirely sure how it all works, and the coding system personally I find very confusing. They have a free printable sheet that you can get online, but again, it's based on the code system, not on what the colors actually look like. So this one is based a lot more on shade, and she's put together the markers that are closest in tone to one another, which is just a million times easier. I think at the time that I bought it, it was $6 US, and it was worth every penny. Hello, Mr. E. Happy heart-filled day. Guys, I'm really sorry about my camera situation. I don't know what is up with it. Hi, Richie. So it looks like something's going crazy with my camera right here. So I've just turned up the light. Hopefully that'll be a little better. But yeah, it's kind of yikes. You got a stream from me. That's right. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. So I need to wrap up this blank, and then if I have time, I have a few other Copic related things to work on. So there's plenty to do. So I'm going to start with something easier, and I'm probably going to work toward the harder parts after. Thank you, Mr. E. So over the weekend, Dan and I were working on our cameras, and we got the art cam and the face cam perfect, and now the face cam is screwing up, but at least it's the face one. You guys know what I look like, and I'm not blue normally. And the art cam, it actually is quite nicely representative of the work, so happiness. At least if one was gonna bust, it should be the one on my face, right? So, here we go. I'm just getting some of the Hellwitch artwork, like digitally colored stuff. So I'm looking at, the cover I've done and the art reference that was sent me by Coffin Comics before I started the project to know the colors and what she's supposed to look like. So I'm gonna get those now so that I, you know, keep track of what exactly I'm supposed to be doing, because it's easy to remember it, but then to like make sure you're really spot on with the tone, it is nice to be able to have those things really clearly in front of you. So that's what I'm getting right now. I worked on it in August, so now I found it. Oh, and it isn't the one I was looking for. I guess that was just an online search. Hi, Kylie! How's it going? Yes, I'm coming to Heroes Con. Someone did inform me that I'm not on the website yet. And that is completely normal because I just sent in my paperwork on Monday of this week. So literally, I sent in my paperwork, got a confirmation, and then told you guys about it on Tuesday on the Dawn's Diaries. So my guess is that it's gonna be a minute before I'm actually up on the website. It always takes a little bit of time. They've probably got so many other ones to do. But yes, I have email confirmation / receipt that I will be at Heroes Con. Woo! I haven't been there since 2013, so it's been a minute. Hey, DC. Oh, I'm glad you're doing great, Kylie. Oh, really, Richie? Where else are you gonna be? You probably already told me this, and if I've forgotten, I apologize. Okay. Yes, I'm looking for something online. I'm just gonna search Hellwitch. Hellwitch Coffin Comics. There we go. Now I'm getting what I need. Okay, there's a very specific image. If you guys search on Google, Hellwitch Coffin Comics, the piece that I'm looking at currently as of February 14th, 2019 is image number 1. So if you want to see what I'm looking at for color reference, that is the one that I'm looking at. Oh, Dragon Con. Okay, sweet. Yay. All right. So the reason why I opened that up and wanted to have it in front of me is I want to make sure I get the wing tone correct. And I like the way how it's kind of modeled. So if you are seeing the piece on the in Google, you'll see that it's just got a really amazing and very interesting color tone to the wings. And this one, I believe, is colored by CC De La Cruz. I'm saving this image to my desktop. Not like you guys need the moment-by-moment play-by-play, but oh well. It kind of becomes a habit when live streaming, because the whole point is to be explaining what you're doing, and then I just become like a running monologue. Sorry, everybody. Yes, Gary Friend, yes, I will be at Heroes Con in June. I'm so excited. One of the many things I want to do is actually make my convention list as like an image here in Twitch, so you can just scroll down and see it. But you know, it's one of those would be awesome to do, but you know, deadlines come first situation. Speaking of deadlines, I sent off my layouts to Zenescope. So I'm waiting to hear back now and waiting for Twitch permission and all of that. But usually, I mean, I don't want to speak out of turn, but usually Zenescope does give me permission to live stream my work. So hopefully I hear back soon, and then I'll get going on the Calgary Expo exclusive for Zenescope Comics. So that'll be really fun, and I'll work on that live with you guys. Yay, thank you so much for stopping by, Gary Fran. Hey, Craig. Cool, Richie. Well, just make sure to respond to any of the commission-related emails that I send around to my email list. If you want any kind of sketches at shows, I send around a shopping list, which you probably already know, but for everyone else who sees this, my commission list is very bogged down. I have more commissions to do than I have time, but the way that I've worked it is I do take convention sketches. But you need to be subscribed to my email list in order to see that email and the basic list of what you are able to get at a convention. They're slightly more quick sketches, jam pieces, remarks. You know, I don't take the big 11 by 17s or anything full body at conventions because they're so busy. Time is of very limited amount. So, in that way, I try to like get to as many sketches as possible by keeping them a little bit quicker. My at-home, do the whole 9-yard list is shut down because I'm very behind. But long ramble short, if you want a sketch at a show, please sign up to my email list. You can just scroll down and it says subscribe. It's completely free to be on my email list, but that is where you get the show-related sketch emails. For the last many years that I've been in comics, I would accept a commission request from Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, email, Facebook Messenger, Facebook Pages Messenger, and I had so many different places where I was getting commission requests that I actually would forget people. I just had someone remind me that I had promised them a commission 5 years ago. Yes. No, even more than that. Almost 6 years ago now. So, you know, those kind of things are why I have now switched to completely, I will only accept sketches on this particular email. So, get on my email list. Oh, hey, Michael Freytag. It's so great to see you. Hey, Wayne. Hey, Shane. Oh, really? Which original was it? Do you know? Thank you, Travis. Yay! I'm glad you like it. How's the snow? We're getting tons more tomorrow, apparently. Just like a giant dump on of snow. It's gonna be intense, from what I hear. Dan was telling me that here in Calgary, we get a lot of snow, right? But not as much as you guys do on the East Coast. What we get is cold, right? Sunny, beautiful, but cold AF. And right now we're in the longest stretch of a cold patch that there's been in 85 years in Calgary. So it's crazy. It's like a consistent minus 20 to minus 30 every day. And it's been like that for weeks now, which is hilarious because like just over Christmas and stuff, it felt like springtime, like warm Calgary spring, all Christmas long. My parents were here completely prepared for this kind of weather and got like the most random ass weather ever. And now we're paying for it. The paper is nice, right, Kylie? Oh, it's the Psylocke. Yeah, I know about that one. The dab pad is the saver of lives. Do you use one, Kylie? Oh, wow, Shane, that's intense. Oh, yeah. Every time I go to Edmonton, I'm surprised at how much colder it is. Like, you guys are really hardy up there because there's Calgary, we get the Chinooks, right? And those really help. You guys must get Chinooks too, right? But Edmonton has biting wind. I don't know what it is that makes Edmonton so much windier than Calgary, but shit, man, that is some windy ass weather. You can keep it. Oh, that is so great, Kylie. I love it. Dab pad convert. Oh, the biting wind comes from the mountains. Okay. Oh, yay. Thank you, Craig. Oh, no, I'm with you, DC. I love snow. I don't like it being so cold, but truth be told, I far prefer winter to summer. Like, no contest. If it wasn't dangerous on the roads, I would be happy with winter all the time because I don't like dressing in summer clothes. I like dressing in winter clothes. So I'll just take the winter. Thank you very much. Oh, that's true, Shane. All right, so I don't know if you guys remember, but my green marker did a little splooge on her wing right here. Thankfully, it's all okay because it's being covered right now with the brown. So, all is well. Thank you so much for picking it up, Craig. You're awesome. So I'm being a little bit cautious with this brown, all the way around the edges first, just so that now I can fill it fully and I'm not worried. Yeah, it is really red, surprisingly, and guess what color it is, Kylie? Brown. It's so freaking red, I swear to God. It's barely brown, but yes, it's E08 brown. Yeah, it really does look red. It has a very strong red undertone. See, I'll show you guys here too. E08. E07 is even more red, but it's slightly darker in like the maroon area. So I'm gonna use that one for darkening up different areas of her wings here. So this is just the base tone. And it's what I'm starting with, right? Yeah, E09, yes, exactly. E08 literally is just like 3 shades lighter, and it's got a super red undertone. Yes, okay, now granted, this webcam that I have is not perfect. It is great, and you know, anything higher end than this, it seems a little ridiculous for this, you know? This is, I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll get something with perfect color correctness, but honestly, there is no such thing as any camera or anything picking up the colors perfectly every single time, especially when you have such polar opposites on the same piece of paper. So chances are the yellow is freaking out the insides of this thing, and it's making the red look more, I mean the brown look more red, you know, so like nothing is exactly how it looks in front of me in the way it looks in front of you. Even your monitor could be fucking with you. It loves to do that. My Cintiq loves to fuck with me, and it's always on the reds. When I'm coloring in Photoshop, I'm just so happy. It looks so pretty to me, right? You know, bearing in mind that I'm still whatever. I have my coloring issues with myself, but for me and for where I'm at in my skill level, I'm super happy, let's say. It's looking great. Everything's popping. The colors are gorgeous. I'm super happy with the skin tone. Then I mail it to my iPhone to just give it one last look on a different screen, and then I want to stab myself in the eye because it looks like shit. So two different monitors, 2 different screens, and you're just like, God damn it. Yeah. That'll for Twitch updates. Oh, like upgrades? Oh, it's fine. Like this is a great camera. If I go any higher than this one, I'm going into like professional photography level cameras, which I'm fine with, and I may do at some point. It's just I'm not convinced that it's necessary, you know? Can I recalibrate the reds? Oh, I have, believe me. So now I just know. My Cintiq is so much more vibrant and contrasty than the iPhone, for instance. Everything just goes dead. Granted, okay, there is one thing in the iPhone's defense. I always have the screen backlit set super dark because it hurts my eyes when it's really bright in my face all the time. So I'm always turning it way down, and then I go look at it, and that initial shock because I've forgotten that I've turned the brightness down on my phone to like freaking 20%. I'm just like, fuck! And then I remember that, you know, I need to turn up the brightness, and then everything looks better, but it isn't the same. Hypno Kitty! I'm gonna start sticking these in for you guys. So that's the only one I have right now, but I'm gonna start throwing in stuff like that all the time. That is a really old picture of Sherlock. I need to get a new one, but all the other ones, it's not on the floor. He doesn't want to do that, like laying on his stomach. He'll try to like start batting at the camera and then we have to leave. You need Hypno Kitty on your wall. Yay! And I'm so glad I seem happy, Louie. I was like, I think I was having like one of those afternoon slumps where I'm like this. Oh my God, I'm just gonna pass out. I'm so tired. So I got myself some coffee, mocha. So good. Yes, I think it was like a year ago. That's a really old picture. And he's a lot thinner back then too. His jowls hadn't quite come in. Yes, it's because he was only 1 in that picture. Now he's 3. So full jowl look. It hadn't been attained yet. Yeah, exactly. I'll find more as I get them, and they're literally just for fun. Okay, this is a scratchy ass disaster because I keep looking up and talking and not finishing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my head down just for a minute. Texture on the wings is not the end of the world, but still, I'd like to not have so many streak lines. So the way that you can do that in an area like this, where it's not hair, so you don't want the directional lines to show through, just kind of go back and forth a bunch of times in a bunch of different ways. And so it kind of picks up the streaks on underneath and mixes it all together. Age changes a man. Lol. So guys, I am super duper crossing my fingers that I'm gonna have heard back about the cover layouts by tomorrow. And then my live stream tomorrow, which I will go live again tomorrow, at least that's the plan. My live stream tomorrow will be doing the final sketch or the inks or final pencil, something. I'll be doing lives centered around the Zenescope cover if I get permission, fingers crossed. All right, so that is enough on the blue. Now what I'm gonna do, I need to fill this one, and shoot. My Copic tray is in the bathroom because I just washed it. So hold please, I'll be right back. I don't know if you guys remember what this looked like, but it was just like a solid Copic sludge right here. So what I did is I just poured some rubbing alcohol in it and let it sit overnight, and I just made sure all doors were closed so that Sherlock wouldn't eat it. And this is, then it completely dissolves the Copic marker. So if you have a even really old, dried, I think I left it like that, filled with just a collection of drips for like a year. And even so, it came off. So you can definitely refill your Copic markers on some little plastic tray, but then you don't have to throw it out. This is an old kids dish when my kids were babies from IKEA. Deodorant works. That's so interesting. Huh. Oh, and DC, about the lines in your coloring. That definitely happens with Copic Marker, with all markers. If you are using Copic markers, you can generally get those out by going over it in different directions. But Copic is made to blend like that. Other markers, I don't know. Crayon Sherlock eats Copics. Well, I just didn't want to risk it. You know, I have a drunk cat because he drank rubbing alcohol. That would be really unfortunate. Rubbing alcohol is actually kind of hard to find these days. I guess they, you know, are cautious about selling it. Now, I can't find it at, here we have Superstore, right? They don't sell it at Superstore. If they do, it's like this tiny ass little bottle. But at Walmart, they still have it. So whenever I find it at Walmart, I just buy a ton. He wouldn't be drunk. Well, you know, you just can't be too careful. Sherlock likes to sniff everything, and then maybe he'd snort some rubbing alcohol. Who knows? Anyway, nothing has happened because I closed the door to the room where any of my art supplies all are. It's all over in Edmonton. Interesting. He would be very unwell, and that's not something I want for mine kitty. One time, Sherlock did something stupid, and I think he learned, and has never done anything like that again. And he licked some dish soap. There was some by the sink, like a drip of dish soap, and he licked it. And I thought my cat was foaming at the mouth and dying. I just freaked out. Oh my God, it was the most terrifying thing. Because he's like freaking out and, you know, has all these bubbles on his face, and I thought, oh my God. So, like, I washed out his mouth, like, completely. Honestly, he didn't get much, right? It was probably like half a raindrop. Because there's no dish soap anywhere. I didn't even know where he got it from. But oh my God, I had to wash out his mouth and wipe his face down. And then I was like, oh my goodness, am I gonna need to rush my cat to the ER? What is happening? And then I realized it was dish soap. So I looked it up to see if it was gonna kill my cat or what I needed to do. But the amount that he got, he was fine. But, oh, talk about trauma. Oh, Sherlock is the same. He likes to chew on plastic. I have to hide it all. He'll eat, you know when you have those clear bags for prints and stuff, and they come like they're sealable, and you just pull the resealable like sticker backing off of it? Sherlock will eat the whole thing, like a big piece of spaghetti. I've like actually had to like catch the end of it and pull it out of his mouth and throat. It's disgusting. Well, at least dogs have more sense. Paper, you know, is somewhat digestible. Plastic is not. All right, so now I'm gonna try something. This may look horrible and the whole idea is just gonna go up in flames. If that happens, we'll work with it, right? But I want to add some yellow splotches in, and I'm gonna be pulling them out from the marker. So I'm gonna be putting this yellow, which is lighter than the brown, into the brown to make it look splotchy. We'll see if this works. Oh yeah, the present strings, that's right. Oh yes, it very much is, Wade. I couldn't agree more. Especially when it's your own hair. True story, it's the worst. What was a cool idea? All right, So I'm kind of, when you put a lighter marker on top of a darker marker, it does work slightly like a bleach, where it'll take the place of, think of oil and water situation. That's kind of how it works here. It kind of just gets in the way and messes up the darker marker situation, and you can push the darker marker color out of a section. You can just kind of shove it away. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just sort of doing this little shove situation. And see, now there's like these watermark rings with more intense brown in it. And that's because the lighter Copic color is actually pushing it and taking its place. I need to make sure that my little pushings are not round. Okay, no more round ones. Because the modeled look is definitely kind of splotchy, but not round swatchy. It has a texture to it. Whoops. That's my homework reminder for Lyndon. Very true, Craig. Guilty as charged. No, you know what? It really isn't. It's not even showing up on the yellow marker. And if you do end up getting any kind of like darker color on a lighter marker, you can generally just kind of take it to a dab pad like this, and you can clean the marker up. It'll come right off. All right, so I think that's enough, and then what I'm gonna do is take the brown again, and I'm gonna use the E09 as well. Where is that? I know I own one. E09. Okay, so I've got these two, and I'm gonna now start darkening it up. You own two somehow? Oh, it happens, for sure. You know, Mr. E, I use the tips on my markers for years. I mean, some of these I've had for 7 years, and they're fine. And I really beat the shit out of my markers because, you know, I use them for flicking, so I'm like constantly like stretching and bending the tips and everything, and they're fine. After a little while, they'll start growing a little beard where it's like some extra little bits of fluff start to hang off like a beard or a tail. And then you can cut them off and keep using the marker, or just get a new nib. And you can buy a pack of new nibs, like 4 to 5 nibs for $3 to $5. So I think they're like less than $1 each, so it's really not bad. Yeah, I really beat them to hell. So now that I've made some lighter shapes, I'm cutting into them with the brown again and kind of trying to make it look a little bit veiny or just something, you know? And I'll probably use a darker color as well to just get more natural skin look to it. How do I see her nose? Yeah. All right, I feel like there's one more spot that needs more yellow coming down, and that's around here. Because, you know, the wings come down like this, and they're longer at this point, so I kind of feel like right here needs a little bit more. Oh yeah, for sure, Mr. E. And generally, even if an art store, I'm not sure about Michael's, especially because the way my local Michael's store is compared to, say, the ones in the States is very different. But you can generally, even if a store is not very well stocked with markers, they'll generally have replacement nibs. And this is an art store I'm talking about, not a craft store. I don't know how well stocked a craft store would be with actual Copic marker parts, but if they don't have a color you're looking for, they'll generally always have the nibs. So I actually keep an extra set of them, and they come in like little baggies like this. So I always have extra in my Copic case. But I hardly ever need them. So I have 4 in my Copic case right now, and I've probably had those same 4 in my Copic case for like 2 years. Target too, that's amazing. Oh, Mr. Freytag, you know what? I actually don't know the rules to the game. They just posted though, like a demo Kickstarter where like it's just the work in progress page for their Kickstarter campaign that's starting soon, and they actually have the game rules there, which is awesome. So, you know, that would be the best place to look, because I did do a card, but I don't know the rules of the game. I'm kind of right where you guys are as far as the rest. So, I read some of it yesterday, though I probably would need to read it over again, because I think that the rules of the game will make a lot more sense if you generally do play those kind of card games, or games in general, which I don't. The most sophisticated game I play is Juice Cubes. So I definitely will be playing this game because I get a copy. I get my own card game, I believe, from them. That's like, I get a comp, so I'm really excited. Cold War Inc. is doing the card game. Yes, and I really thought it was later this month, but then just today, I think it was, or maybe it was last night after I sent out the email, they posted, you know, we're just working on the Kickstarter page, but you can see it here. So maybe I can share that, because they were asking for input and suggestions on their Kickstarter page and how it's laid out. So if you guys would want to be interested, or if you guys are interested, I can definitely share that to you. Actually, let me see if I can find it right now. Hold, please. Here we go. I think Ash shared it. Yes, here we go. All right, I can actually share it to you guys right now. Okay. There you go. So if you click on that, I think and you scroll down, it has an explanation about the game and all of this. So this is not, the Kickstarter hasn't launched yet, but they're working on making the Kickstarter page. And so this is sort of a work in progress thing. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. All right, now I'm using E09, which is just slightly darker than the E08 that I was using. And that's because I want to start putting in, dragon wing skin. I love that look, and I'm always trying to achieve it where it looks like stretched skin over bone. And if you hold stretched skin over bone to the sunlight, or in this case, this green acid hell something, you hold it to that, you'll see through, and you'll see the veins and all of that stuff through the skin. And I'm always trying to get it, and I just never feel that I can get that thin stretched skin look. I mean, it's the only time you ever really want to even do thin stretched skin, but I really want to try to get it done this time. Oh, what's this? Announcing Lady Death. Oh, wow, that is so cool. Sweet. They're doing a Lady Death game. That is so badass. Oh, thank you, Kylie. I'm still working on it. I want this stretched skin look. Oh yeah, I think that this color is perfect. Guys, you know what? I need to do one mommy chore. I need to go make sure that my son is getting ready for his jujitsu. So, because Dan's gonna be back from work and he has to pick Lyndon up, turn around, and head back out again. And I wanna make sure Lyndon is ready. So just give me 1 second. I'm back. Mommy chores. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Okay, so I'm using E08 and E09, and the color that I used for the like lighter bits and the smooshy shit that I was doing was YR12. And Craig, you got me. I said it. It's just, there's no other way to explain whatever that is, you know? I don't know. It's just, it's smooshy shit. Right? I think it is, Richie. It's 100% technical. It makes so much sense. If I do the see-through wings, well, I'm using this brown. I'm just kind of making it the same color because it's just casting a shadow, technically, from the vein on the inside. So now I've switched to EO8. Oh, well, I am. I'm toggling between EO8 and EO9, Mr. E. Thank you, DC. And then here, I'm letting it be a little bit more streaked and not blended looking so that the skin itself has a little bit of texture. I don't think of dragon style wings as having like smooth baby bottom style skin. Yay! That's what it's here for, Kylie. Steal away. I'm so glad that you like it. Gabriel, hello. Yeah, Mr. E, I'm using EO8 base tone and mid-tone, EO9 for all the shadows and streaks and veins, and YR12 to add in that splotchy stuff. I kept my language in check. Yes, you can, Kylie. Oh my God, that'll be so much fun. And you can do different color combinations for all the different dragons. Oh, that's gonna be great. I love it. Okay, what really works is I overfilled this marker, the yellow, because you really want, it'll save you just so much more time if you can just start like actually dripping it. You just need EO8. All right, you know what? Do you have, EO9 will work fine. It'll just be a little darker. Do you have E13? Sorry guys, there's always gonna be a glare. I have a big halo light right over my head so that the art is illuminated. So when I show you this, it's catching the glare, and yes, the top of my head is glowing. Okay, E13 will work. It's just a little bit more tan, and the E08 is a bit redder, but you can definitely muck about with different colors and you'll be able to find something, especially because every single one of the dragons has a slightly different undertone, right? So you can work with it. Okay, so now I'm going to work on the next one. And that's gonna be an interesting challenge because I can't rest my hand over here very much. Quick little, I saw this, think it needs a little bit more shadow, little momentary detour. I may come back to this and add a little bit more and, you know, mess with it, but for now, it's good. If I go too far and I start adding too much detail and texture into this part, it's gonna lose the look of skin and start looking like, you know, a pebble rock formation coming out of her back. Like, I have to keep it pretty flat looking. And so I'm holding myself back because the temptation is literally to just get in here and start doing more and adding more texture and stuff. It could very much ruin the look. Yes, don't crease the edge, don't touch it, don't go near it, just stay away. I am gonna do one thing in the corners, however. So I have an idea. I'm gonna use E19 or E18. I can't decide which one I wanna use. Yeah, I'm gonna use E18 here. So it's quite a dark color, but I'm just gonna get a few little shadowy bits for right where it connects to the boning. There we go. Thank you so much, Wayne. Next section, yes. Okay, E08 again is my base color. Confirming what portions of her wings. Oh, okay, so in this one that I'm looking at, which again, if you search Hellwitch Coffin Comics in Google Images, it's image number 1, so you'll see what I'm working on. DC, her bikini and everything is black leather. Her armbands are silver along with all the spikes on her bra. They are also silver. But this time, I'm gonna actually fill in all of these sections because in the piece that I'm looking at right now, these sections were filled in. And I believe it's an interior page from Hellwitch, Hellborn issue 1. Happy Valentine's Day, Keeman! And to all of you. Oh, that's awesome, Kylie. Oh, you're so welcome, Kevin. Yeah, I got a stream too. Dan and I have never really been big on celebrating Valentine's Day, like, at all. I think we kind of say, oh, happy Valentine's Day. I think it's the 14th of the month, and then we're like, cool. And that's about as far as we go. It was your first raid, yay! Well, I am so glad, Keeman. Oh, that's so sweet. You guys sound so romantic. Aw. I love it. The thing that's frustrating with Valentine's Day for me is that it literally takes over the store, and it got in my way recently, and it kind of pissed me off. But other than that, it's whatever, you know, Valentine's Day is fun. Oh, well, that's awesome. You lucky girl. And that was, my brother is in the U.S. Coast Guard, right? And he's going on a 6-month tour somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. I have no idea where he is. Anyway, so he's on a boat. I'm on a boat. So he's on duty right now for like months at a time. And so his wife, this is the sweetest thing. His wife worked out this thing where she's made broken up care packages for him, and everything is dated. So like, open this one at X date, open the next one at the next date, and it's, you know, all of us, his family and friends, sent something for him to open, just to kind of break up the monotony of the ocean, which frankly, I mean, I'm terrified of an expanse of water where I can't see the bottom, so that kind of rules out lakes, streams, pools, except for like streams that are about that deep, right? So, and my brother's in the Coast Guard. Go figure. And so, my brother, and so I was trying to find something to send for my brother, you know, for my little care package that I was giving him. And it's the sweetest thing. So she got all of us in the family and his friends, I don't know who, to like send something for her to put in this box that he can only open each item at said date, which I think is the coolest thing ever. And so for me, I wanted to get him something from Banff when we went, and they're these keychains, and it's a moose, right? It's a little plastic moose, and if you squeeze the moose, he poops. And then if you let go, the poop goes back inside. And if you squeeze the moose again, he poops. And I thought it would be hilarious. And they didn't have it. They were like completely sold out of the pooping moose. So then I'm like, okay, fine, fuck it. I'll just go get him a card and, you know, write something sweet, you know, what? Yeah, it was the end of the season. It was literally the last day before they closed for like, you know, winter upkeep or something. And it was like snowing like crazy outside. I'm not sure, Louis. I guess so. I have one brother and he's in the Coast Guard. So then I go to get him a card, and this is like right after New Year's, and the only cards there are fucking Valentine's Day cards. I love you, you're the love of my life. There's no freaking way I'm sending anything lovey-dovey to my younger brother. Just hell no. So what I did is I bought him a 2019 calendar of Grumpy Cat. And I was like, look, dude, I couldn't find you a card. But just flip through the calendar and toss it. Have fun out at sea, you know? But like, when there's Valentine's Day or something like that, it completely ruins, you know, someone like me that's trying to just get a card for their brother. I am absolutely not trying to send him a Valentine's Day card. Hell no. It really would. I so agree with you, T-Quick. It's like, you're my little brother, I love you, but that's just, you know, my love is shown through being kind of the mean, grumpy older sister. I mean, that's my job, and I'm failing if I send you some sweet Valentine's Day card. It's the worst. Anyway, all that to say, my one beef with Valentine's Day is at least have a few cards that are not lovey-dovey for people, because it really ruined my evening, and I had to like buy him a calendar. Right? Anyway, my brother won't see this. He's out at sea. But I think his my little card package thingy for him, he needs to open it on March 30th, I think was my the date that I had to write on the package. So we'll see if he likes Grumpy Cat. My brother has an excellent sense of humor. That is something I have to give to him. I have mad respect for like how he can take a joke. He can dish it, but he can take it, which is awesome. Oh, that's great. Yeah, exactly. And all I needed was like a freaking, you know, have a nice life card. They really do. My brother's awesome. And so are you, Louie. And I think it was such a cool idea of his wife to set that up. She is just the best. I love her. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it's YR12. Well, you know, Richie, that's a really good question. You know, legally obligated is a pretty intense term. I've never had to sign a contract that I will use X color from the color, you know, the hex chart or whatever that Photoshop has, or the gamut numbers or Pantone number, this, that, or the other. I've never had to sign a contract to that effect. However, when you send in the final colors, the publisher may request, and it's happened to me many times, can you adjust the tone of this color? It's a little bit too whatever. Can you adjust it a little bit? And so that's happened to me numerous times. And yeah, you are obligated as an artist to not be like, no, I'm done, fuck you, I'm finished. You know, of course not. You would never do that. It's your job to complete and do all corrections that are asked. So I suppose, yes, in that way, I am contractually obligated and legally obligated to complete the job that I've set forth to do. And that includes making color adjustments. But I've never been sent an exact color swatch and you must do this. You know, I haven't had that happen. Oh my God, is there a pooping moose video? Is it a real pooping moose, Wayne? Yeah, exactly. That would be so not cool. Oh yeah, see, that's exactly what I wanted. They're slightly different with the Canadian. Oh wow, okay, that's a giant poop. The one that they sell in Banff is a little bit smaller, and it's like an actual little plastic piece of poop that comes out and then goes back in. But yes, same basic concept. Oh, no, don't apologize, Richie. That's actually, it's a really good question. And, you know, it's kind of a yes and no answer because I'm never given specific, it's never specifically stated, but I believe that I guess it's just understood that, you know, you do the corrections and adjustments that you're requested to do. And in comics, you know, I don't think there's even a limit on how many times you're requested to make an adjustment. You just do the adjustments you're requested. That's your job. Yeah, making the boss happy, paramount importance. My new art book, guess what? I got a proof yesterday, a print proof. So I am going over it with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that it's good. And then I'm gonna tell him to roll the run. And so, you know, it's looking good that I will definitely have some at Emerald City C2E2, and it'll be kind of like the soft open for the show only. My full stock for the website is going to come very, very slowly on a large boat. So it's going to take a long time. Some way to get it signed. You know what, Kylie, probably that would have to be one of the things that the Wonder Twins can do together, because I can give it to Kara and it can go with your sketch if all that works out. But as far as signatures, I don't believe so. It's gonna have to be a bring it to me to get signed if I'm around kind of situation, or if you see me at a show. And I'm so sorry about that. Oh, thank you. You're such a sweetheart. Yes, I'm getting, what I'm gonna do, because it takes so long for the books to ship, and then they spend, you know, a while in customs and all of that stuff, I'm having a few boxes expressed to me. So it will, it'll take a little while, but I should have them for Emerald City and C2E2. I'm hoping. Can you get a Sherlock? Well, you see, I promised you a Sherlock sketch for Fan Expo Canada, and I have not yet delivered. So I will do my best to work something out for you, Wayne. Oh, happy Valentine's, my Freytag, and I'll catch you later. It's Sherlock with the tiara, right? Looking very pissed. All right, now I've switched to E09, everybody. For anyone who's keeping track of the colors. This is the darker tone that I'm using. Okay, guys, because I can't help myself, I'll show you what the proof of the cover looks like. You all were on with me when I did the color work, right? Sherlock with the tiara. Okay, you guys were with me when I did all the colors. Now bear in mind, this is a big piece of paper, and it's just to show me how it's working. It's not cutting in the right place, because I'll explain it to you guys, all right? Here we go. So I'm nervous showing it to you because I don't know if all of you are going to be able to understand that this is a print proof. That means it's just a piece of paper. It has not been wrapped on the book. I also got extra printing goodies, like, you know, finishes on the paper, which again are not on the paper. This is just a quick digital proof of what the colors are looking like, okay? Because they know I'm picky with the printing. So, okay, here we go. All right, so it's sent to me in a big piece of paper like this. So this right here is the UV coat. So that is kind of the map of where they're going to be putting a shiny varnish style piece over the cover. So it goes over the cover like this because I want the words to be shiny. So then this is sort of the map of where they're going to put the words and where they're going to put the shiny stuff. So this is like a UV coat information page. All right? And I wrapped it around one of my other drawn books just because it was really bothering me that you could see so much excess. Now there's tons of excess because the way that the book is done is they print it on a paper this big, right? But all inside, all the divots of the book and underneath this piece of paper, so this is the loose side where the book starts, and this is where there's a piece of paper glued, right? But the printing, this has to be able to fold over the edges and they glue it down. So that's what all this excess is for, is so that they can fold it. So you guys are getting a little like hardback book crash course right here. So anyway, it goes like this, and this is how the book is. Again, I've just kind of folded it roughly. So it's gonna cut right about there. And oops, this is the front cover. Here we go. And then this is the back cover. So this is how it all looks. And then, I can't believe I'm showing you guys all this, all my little secrets. This is the end sheet. So it's gonna be like this. So it's inside the book, and this is gonna glue down over the edge on the inside of the cover right here, so that it's going to be, last time I did a blank piece of paper, as you can see. This time I'm doing the pencils of the front side of the art. So you see the colored, and then you open up the book and there's the pencils. So that's how it's looking so far. Again, this is just a print proof, and it's a giant loose leaf piece of paper that I just stuck over one of my books real rough like, just so I could see what it's gonna look like. And I'm getting a soft touch matte, so I'm doing a matte cover, basically like this one. As you can see, some of it is matte, but I'm using a more fun matte spray over it. So it makes the paper look matte. It's not gonna be all glossy all over the place, and then just the title is gonna be the UV coat. So as you guys can see, some is shiny, and that's because I UV coated her and the whole title. So for the first drawn that I did, it had the drawn and then a huge silhouette black outline of her. So yeah, that's how it works. And then I got the end sheets, and then there's the whole inside of the book, but I'm not gonna spoil everything. But I gotta say, I'm quite happy with how the colors turned out and the way that the face works, this is the back side of the cover. And like, this is way blown up from what the actual art is. You guys saw me working on this. The art itself is much smaller. So the fact that it's really mega blown up and it doesn't look super bad is awesome. It actually, you know, it looks great. It doesn't look all pixelated or shitty. Because this is way blown up. I mean, it's like double the size of what I drew it at. But yeah, it looks fine. Everything looks great. So I'm really, really happy with that. Especially with like Copic marker and colored pencil. I mean, the ability for this to just turn into like a modeled mess was just so high. Yes, that sounds like a plan, Shane. All right, now to get back to art. But as far as updates, it's looking good as far as having a sort of pre-launch at a couple shows because I'm getting them express shipped to me. And then for the website, it'll follow shortly thereafter. So I'm thinking April. But, you know, I'm not 100% sure. But at least I got the print proofs yesterday all the way from Taiwan. So I'm really excited. Okay, I'm just gonna put this back. April-ish, that's right. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to keep working on this part of her wings. You're welcome. Whoops. Well, for anyone who doesn't have any of my other books, I probably will do some kind of something. I don't know. Like right now I have it where you can get both books for a deal or a book and a print. I'll incorporate the third book like that too somehow. Oh, thank you, Mr. E. Oh, hello, Zombie Folly. How's it going? Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you. All right, now I'm switching back to E08. Yeah. That is a thing, Richie, and I apologize for it. At least you're seeing me at 2 shows, so you can break it up, not for my sake, but for your own. Thank you so much, Kylie. That means a ton. All right, I might as well just fill in this part too. Hello, Adam. How's it going? All right, so now I am taking out the YR12 again. I'm toggling between 3 markers, E08, E09, YR12. The only thing you really want side, okay. Well, that's nice and easy then. Well, it's no problem for me as far as signing stuff. It's really just what you feel like bringing in. Okay. Now, it's the YR12 marker. And I'm just kind of scribbling around on it. And it takes a little bit of time. It's like it slowly starts to lighten. It doesn't happen as soon as you put your colors down. So you have to sort of try to remember where you were doing the marker in the first place. Because of course it's advantageous to recolor over the same spot a few times because that pushes the brown out of the way. They're like permanent markers, Zombie Folly. You should see my hands sometimes. They look like such a disaster. They take a few days sometimes to come off, and I'll just have red all over my hands. Looks like I've just covered in cuts. Oops, wrong marker. All right, I'm using E08 and E09 now. Hey, Juan. All right, now I'm switching to E09. Oh, thank you so much, Juan. I've literally been struggling to get this kind of effect for years. Whenever I'm like given a character with dragon wings or a dragon that they want in a commission or whatever, and I just have not been able to pull it off. So I think this is on the broken back of like many other commissions over the years that I've tried to do this exact same thing. So it's slowly coming into focus. And it's not like the other commissions looked bad. It's just, it wasn't quite what I was attempting to achieve. But I think I'm slowly getting it. And maybe over the course of the next couple years, I'll refine this thing down to look even more realistic and see-through, stretchy skin look. But for now, at least it's something, right? Yeah, that's true. You probably could do something like this for butterfly wings. Yay, thank you, Zombie Folly. That is 100% what I'm trying to accomplish here, so that is awesome news. All right, I think these will look a little better, a little darker. So I'm using E09 right now to just darken up some of these sections. And then if need be, I'll switch to E19. But I don't want to go too dark here because I need the E19 and E29 for the bone part of her wings, because that needs to be darker. So I can't go too dark here or it's just gonna screw everything up. Yay, thank you, Richie. That's awesome. All right, and then I'm just blending E09 with E08 to soften it up a little bit. There we go. All right, same thing in the background. I filled it with E08, and I'm probably not going to do any kind of highlights or visible stretched skin or anything like that, because then it's just gonna compete with the front, the wing in the foreground. And I'm trying to focus on depth in stuff and kind of creating the illusion that something goes back into the page. And with something like this in like a smoky area, it would be a little bit like distorted or covered by mist, just ever so slightly to help bring them back from one another. So even though I don't really have any mist to work with here, I will just make it less contrasted, and I'm hoping that'll help with that effect. A little lighter, a little less contrast. Yay, that's awesome, Kylie. Oh, hi, Eric. Have a good one, DC. Yes, there are some that have all kinds of stuff on them and they're not helpful at all. Or some that have like zippers and cool shit, but again, it just, you can't. And even these ones, they're rolling, which is a little bit of a problem, but I've had these for like years and years. So they're like, look at this, they've got holes in them and all kinds of stuff, but at least they work. Okay, now it's time to move on to the boning area. Okay, let me take a look here. All right, so it's very, very dark, almost black in color. That is so awesome, Kylie. Congratulations. Yay. The bone portion of her wings. So I'm going to do E18 and E29. E29 is very, very dark. And I think between these two colors, I'll get a nice dark looking wing bone. And then for any highlights, I'll use colored pencil. So let's see how this goes. So this E18 tone is just a little tiny bit darker than the color of her wings. But it's essentially just the highlight tone. So I'm primarily gonna do a lot of the heavy lifting with the E29, which is very dark. But I need to get it started with a lighter color. Because with Copic Marker, you go light to dark. For the most part. You guys. Dirty minds. This goes all the way back behind her hair and connects in her upper back. Ooh, so today there's a new stand-up comedy that literally I think just got posted on Netflix, at least here in Canada today. And it's with Ken Jeong, and oh my god, I love him. I think he is so freaking funny. So I am 100% watching his stand-up this weekend. Yes, please. Oh, true. I went mid-tone, light, dark. Ha! Oh, you did? Well, I'm so watching it tonight if I can. Oh, Star Trek Discovery. Okay. It's a great show. I don't think I've seen that one. I honestly don't even know what you're talking about. Which is weird, because I am probably more than anything a Star Trek person. Well, not more than comics, actually, but more than, like, you know, Star Wars or any of the other ones. I love Star Trek. You like Fluffy? I haven't really gotten it with Fluffy yet. Like, I saw a couple other ones. I really enjoyed Seth Rogen. There's another guy. His name is like Chris something, kind of Italian sounding. Yay, thank you, Adam. That's awesome. But yeah, I just didn't find it super funny. But yeah, I did really enjoy the Chris guy, you know, and to each their own. It's completely fine. I watched a few of his and I just kind of sat there. But I did see, and then I watched, let me see, who else did I watch? No, I don't think his name was Paolini. Let me find it. I'm just gonna open up Netflix and I'll tell you guys which ones I watched. I watched... Okay, so I'm working through the Ken Jeong. I managed to see a couple minutes. Okay, Chris D'Elia. He's funny. Oh, I need to watch the Seth Rogen one because I started that one and haven't gotten very far. Oh no, wait. Not Seth Rogen, Joe Rogan. So Joe Rogan, let's see who else. Dave Chappelle, I watched some Dave Chappelle. And I think those are all the ones that I've seen. I'm watching the Seth Rogen one. Started some Russell Peters. Anyway, you know, sometimes it can be like the opening statement that I don't find super funny, and then as the thing goes on and I kind of understand what they're saying and kind of the point they're making, then it's hilarious. So, you know, I also need to like give people a chance. Okay, now I'm switching to E29. Good evening, Philip. How's it going? Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. I'm doing great, thank you. There we go. So maybe it's not showing up a ton on here. I'm not sure how it's looking on screen. But yeah, it's got enough contrast, so that I'm really happy about. Because I was concerned about the contrast situation. But it's good. All right, now I'm gonna try and go a little bit lighter on the back wing. So I'm gonna make E18 my darkest color this time. And let's try E17 for the base tone. So it's a little bit lighter. I think E9 might be better. That was a little bit too light. There's contrast. Oh, good. Thanks, Wayne. No, that isn't right either. Maybe I'll just carry on with 17 and hope for the best. Oh yeah, TrekNet, I explained this at the beginning. I am so sorry. Yes, what it is, the reason why I look all blue over here is because I was trying to turn off the auto lighting situation, because what happens is if I'm wearing black, which I usually am, I look like a ghost. So I turned off the auto and tried to set it up, and somehow it's all screwed up. Like, it didn't keep any of my settings, and I'm super frustrated. So I look terrible, and I didn't know how to fix it. So I have to just start live streaming and hope that you guys can just realize I'm not usually blue. Thankfully, at least the art cam is not freaking out, but this one, you guys are seeing my face. Yes, it's terrible. Okay, now I'm gonna go to E18 for the shadow portions of the back wing. So the 18, which is what I'm using as the darker color for the back wing, was the lighter tone for the front wing. So I'm sort of trying to push this into the background by lightening the colors a little bit. And I'll blend this in again because the difference between E17 and E18, as you can see, is just insane. That's why it's so hard with the Copic coding system to figure out what color to use. Yes, I do match my top. It's hilarious. Oh, and hey Jason, hey to Artist Life. So now I'm just blending a little bit with the E17, softening some of those lines because the contrast is a little too high. There we go. And then I'll just get a little bit of slightly darker tones to just mix in here a little bit because I don't want it to look too red in comparison. It's starting to disappear, you know, and disappearing and not even looking like what it should look like, and the right tones isn't the vision either. So I need to find the right balance here and make sure that the wing is clearly there and you can see the tonal differences, which right now there's barely any difference between the bone structure and the wing skin. So I'm gonna need to add a little bit of something else. Maybe I'll just try a little bit more E18 for now. No, Philip, it had nothing to do with migraine, but thank you for being so concerned. What it was is I was working on my the Zenescope layouts for the cover approval, and I don't stream layouts because I want the at least it's my agreement with companies that I do Twitch streaming for, that the layout, they have all the layouts and I only start streaming once they've chosen the cover layout. And that's not really a stipulation that's been put on me. It's kind of when I ask for permission, that's kind of what I state. I'll make sure that you guys can see the layouts and I'll only start streaming once you've chosen the layout and what look the final cover is going to have. So that's just, it's on me, but I don't stream that portion and I had to get it done yesterday. So that's why I didn't stream yesterday and bumped it to today because I was working on cover layouts. Long story short. God, brevity is really not my forte, is it? I'm such a rambler. Yes, I'm streaming till 7 today and then I need to go cook dinner. See you later, Jason. Drive home safe. No, actually, I'm not cutting close to their deadlines. I'm cutting close to my self-imposed deadlines where I'm going to be quite a bit early. Like the cover isn't due for another month, but I have other things planned for the following week. So I've moved it up. I figured I should do my deadlines first, get to my own project after. So I'm actually quite early on this one. Woohoo! Oh, thank you, Zombie Folly. That's so nice of you. All right, I'm using a bit more E18 here. Just bring in a little bit more contrast between the bone structure. Do you guys realize I've stopped saying boning? Bone structure. Oh, Zombie Folly was saying something so nice, because I was saying I was rambling, and so Zombie Folly is saying that I'm not rambling, and it's so kind. Okay, I think that this is helping it bring a little bit more contrast to the back wing, but that's as far as I'm gonna go, because then otherwise it's gonna start competing with the front wing, and then we have a very mushy, confusing situation happening right there, and I don't want that to happen. And then I'm gonna need to come up with some way to kind of bring this into the very green environment. So this is, it's probably something I'll handle with colored pencil. But even in checking the reference, like the actual interior pages of Hellwitch, this green stuff, it's almost like a smoke or a power of its own, but it's not necessarily a very strong light source. So Hellwitch will be standing in a bunch of this green smoky stuff, but it isn't making her completely green. So that does really help with her skin tone and all of that, that I don't have to make this just like a green out, which would be pretty challenging. Mixing green with oranges, for instance, with Copic Marker is very, very hard to do. I know, the 17 to 18, that's the thing, Mr. E. That's why I highly recommend the hex chart, because you can't go by the numbers. It's a different, like, their system, and you know, you can go online and read, Copic explains it, but it just goes completely over my head because it has to do with addition of color and stuff like that. Yes, it's skin time. Whoop whoop. So I gotta say, I am not necessarily too particularly thrilled with how I did the skin last time. And it's not that I didn't... Yeah, I just added it in, Gabriel. Sneak attack! So it's just because I think I mixed too many colors. And when you mix too many colors with Copic markers, it can kind of start to mud the paper. It starts to look muddy and mottled, and I didn't care for that. So it's not that I need to do a different color. I just need to find a way to accomplish what I'm trying to do with a few less markers. Okay. So I'm just going to look at this and come up with a color scheme. Her skin tone is described as cinnamon, so she's a very nice dark tan. I might do 13, 15, 17. Have I ever drawn a mermaid? I don't remember. I don't think so. I mean, you know, as a kid I have plenty. Yeah, the hex chart is amazeballs, Zombie Folly. So yeah, E13, E15, and E17. Check them out. Clearly I haven't cleaned all my markers. You did call it, Kylie. Yeah, and as far as the if I've drawn a mermaid Philip, I don't remember if I have. And, you know, sometimes I'll get on here and be like, yeah, I've never drawn that before. Or, you know, I don't think I've done that character. And then someone will be like, yes, you have. There we go. Point in case. I do. I've drawn Ariel. Thank you, Gabriel. It's just like, it all goes right out of my brain. Oh my God. Okay, E13, 15, 17. I know. Giant ass face palm. For now, I haven't tried these. I don't know if this is gonna work, so I'm gonna do a test run someplace that is kind of an inconspicuous spot on her body. I know. I'm such a fail, and I do it every single time. So yeah, you guys, don't trust me. Trust the chat as far as what I've drawn. Okay. Where is an inconspicuous little spot? Here we go. An unassuming little elbow. Let's try that out. A quiet little hidden elbow just back here. It's not bothering anybody. It's just minding its own business. Fuck shit up. Thank you, Mr. E. All right, so I put E15 now. I just did that darker spot, but then see those hard edges? Me no likey. So I take the E13 and I blend it back out. There we go. Wow, E13 over itself is very dark. I may not need to use the 15 very often because the 15 is actually going to be... No, I already used the 15. The E17 is considerably darker, but it's good to have for places that you need high contrast. So technically, I don't need the 17 right here. I'm just putting it in for display purposes. All right, so that's a pretty good intense skin color. Now, the 13 might be slightly too dark. Like that may be beyond what Brian meant as far as cinnamon. I may be taking it too far. Then again, I'm just gonna go right back on my word, and Copic lightens as it cools. As it dries. So chances are this might get a little lighter, but that may be too dark for what is the skin tone specified for her. That's awesome, Pat. Thank you so much. That's awesome of you. I really appreciate it. Okay. I'm seeing. I may incorporate some E11. And you know what? It can't hurt to have a really nice light tone as the base. So I'm going to use E11 as the base in another little inconspicuous spot. And we'll see if that's helpful as far as blending. Because when you double the 13 over the 13, it's quite dark. And I think it's not going to help me as far as tones and blending purposes. So I think another spot that I can do that is generally darker than any other areas is under the neck, and it's a nice little section right here. So I'm gonna do over under her neck, so or under her chin, so just this neck area. Oh. So the reason why I start with the lightest tone is you can leave that portion as the highlight. Copic, if you want it to look smooth, don't do as I did for her wings. I didn't care. I actually wanted the wings to look kind of splotchy. But for skin, you don't want it to look splotchy, or it looks like they've got some situation and they need to go to the doctor, right? So I don't do the lighter color on top. You do the lighter color at the very bottom. All right, so now I always take the initial tone and I blend it with that. So I did E11, now I'm doing E13. And then I blend the E13, and now I'm going to E15. I'm liking this, it's working, I'm happy. This is good. All right, and then I blend the 15 with 13. And that is how I do my blending, and that is a much smoother blend. Yes, awesome. Okay, start with E11, then go to E13, then jump to 15, and if needed, which I haven't used it yet, is E17. Except for one tiny little dot right there, which was unnecessary. Thank you, Kylie, there we go. Yes. 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. That is excellent. $11, $13, $15, $17, Mr. E. Add a 15 in there in your GTG. Okay, so now we have the colors set. Few little random inconspicuous spots have been filled, but now we can just start working on the rest of the body. I will be doing some green highlights in certain areas, but I'm going to handle that with colored pencil because I don't want them to be that strong and stark highlights like you can do in hair. Hair has far more highlights in general than skin does, unless you're like slathered in oil, which let's say she's not. Copics are expensive, but in the long term, they're actually a lot cheaper than many other markers because everything about them is reconstructible. All right, so I'm gonna start with the arm, bust, and move my way down, and then do the face last. She'd fry if she was, that's right. She is in hell after all. I will leave some areas white for highlight on the edges. Like right here at the bottom of her bicep, I might leave that white just so that I can go in and put the green without running into any issues. But for the rest of her, because her skin tone is a darker skin tone, I wouldn't leave any white paper areas. I'm gonna fill everything in with this E11. And it's super handy to start putting in some of the basic shading. So I haven't changed markers yet. I'm still working with E11 right now. I'll move into some of the other colors in just a moment. I need to finish this one portion. So whenever possible, try not to leave any parts that are open paper and make that the edge of your Copic marker. If you can, try to fill in a full section and then work from section to section. Richie, I'm gonna have to get back to you in a second because I can't let this dry. So if I miss your question, post it again. And I'm so sorry, but Copic marker dries really quickly and then we have splotchy coloring, which I really don't like. So I hope you can bear with me. So she's a pretty powerful looking girl. She's got some nice, strong muscles. And so I am accentuating that a little bit here. In that I'm showing some of her bicep and stuff like that. She's not like She-Hulk or anything, but she's got a bit of muscle going on. Yeah, don't forget, Richie, I really do want to answer it. I just don't have a chance to read it just yet. So if for some reason it scrolls past, just copy and paste it, if you don't mind. So I'm still using E13 at the moment, but I do need to move on to E15. I think that it's almost time for that, to do some of the deeper shadows. But pretty much for Hellwitch, this is actually working out quite nicely, to just stick between the E11 and E13. But now I'm jumping to E15. And I'm doing some of the shadow points. So like there would be a decent shadow right here, coming under her arm. Let's get one under the hair right there. Under her shoulder muscle. So it's not needed everywhere, but I'm just putting it in a few little spots. And as you can see, I'm not blending it yet because I'm gonna let E13 do that blending lift. The heavy lifting for the blending, sorry. So now I'm blending it out with the E13. And then I'm taking E11 for any parts where it's close to the highlights. Just a little bit more here. So I just used 15, now I'm using E13. Then I'm gonna try out a little bit of E17 for some of these real darker shadow areas. I may find that I need a little bit of a less red light or marker for the actual shadow areas. So like things that would be in deep dark shadows. Sometimes it's better to use a cooler marker for it. But I will, I'll just wait and see. So sometimes for skin tone, I'll use like a warm gray because it's a bit more of a gray, less saturated color. Yeah, thank you so much, Kylie and Mr. E. Okay, I'm gonna catch up now. Richie, question for you, I'm going back to con sketches. Okay, my email list. So, Richie, are you subscribed to my email list? Because if not, that's how you get on my commission list. I don't take commissions other ways because it's too much. I get too many, so I've just had to shut that down. So the way it's handled to keep it all organized is about a week before any given convention that I'm going to, I will send out an email to my email list with kind of a little bit of a shopping list with examples of what I'm offering and general pricing and all of that. So if you sign up to my email list, that's where you'll be able to get on my commission list for any given show. Oh, that's very interesting, Kylie. Oh, and thank you so much, Philip. Okay, next up, let's just keep working through the body here. This little chest portion. I'll do both of these chest portions because they're small and it's nowhere that needs any particular intense toning. Okay, so you're on my email list, Richie. Thank you. So yeah, for Dragon Con and Heroes Con, I'll be sending around emails about them. And I'll just title the email. It'll be like, you know, Heroes Convention. And if for some reason, you know, it's a few days before the show and I still haven't sent around an email, check your junk mail. Or, you know, maybe I'll be on Twitch and you can get in touch with me there. As far as when my email is coming out. So right now I'm just toggling between 13 and 11. E13 and E11. Oh, it's definitely the one Kara is going to. Calgary Expo, let me check again. I think it's the last weekend in April, I think. Hold, please. I have it all in like a big spreadsheet thingy. All right, Calgary, April 25 to 28, and I'm home in the weeks before that, so it won't be any issue. I'll definitely be able to send out the email about a week prior. The only show that I've been looking at my schedule and being like, okay, that's where I'm going to have a little bit of a situation is Emerald City Comic Con and C2E2 are, you know, one weekend and the very next weekend, which means I'm only going to be home for about 2 or 3 days, and then I'm turning right back around and going from Seattle, Calgary for 2 or 3 days, and then I'm going on to Chicago. So, you know, the lead time for Chicago is gonna be pretty low as far as how much advance warning I'm gonna be able to give people as far as commissions. Oh, Richie, yes. That definitely helps. If you have someone do a basic layout of what you're wanting for a jam piece, that makes a big difference as far as like, you know, getting a coherent drawing. Sorry everybody about the green screen. I don't do it. It has something to do with Twitch, I guess, or the upload. All right, so now I'm not going to be looking up for a couple minutes because I decided to just go for it with her face. So just give me a moment, everyone. And I will be right back. Okay, now I'm switching to E13. I'll look up in a minute, you guys, and catch up on your questions or comments. Thank you all so much for being here. It's just I have to do this before the Copic marker dries. So I need to get it done all in one shot, or I'll have a very splotchy looking face. See, because the Copics are still wet, I can blend out some of these harsher lines. Oh, thank you, Philip. A bit more blending. All right, now I'm gonna get E15 here and just put a nice sharp shadow right there from her hair. And also right in here. Just a few places that I think it would be appropriate for there to be a pretty dark shadow going on. And that, I want it to stay with a nice harsh line like that. I will give her her lip color momentarily. Now I'm just giving her a little bit of darker shading around her eyes. Go. Just gonna blend that. So I used E15 for around her eyes, and I'm just gonna soften it up a little bit with the E13. I still need to do her eyes. Kind of left that for a minute. All right, let's get her lip color in. Okay, now I'm just gonna catch up a little bit. Should I talk to one artist ahead of time? Okay, green screen. Oh, thank you, Mr. E. And Keevan, thanks so much, you guys. I'm glad you're liking the color tones. All right, so for her lips, I've been using, I can't really remember the mixture of colors I was using. I think it was like these two. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wing it and think it was these two. So it's dark pink and currant, which is RV34 and R56. So it's like, it's a dark lip color, but it's not red. It's more of a wine color. Oh, thank you so much, Richie. I really appreciate that. Okay, so I have a slight pencil line for the upper lip, and so I know where it's gonna be. You guys may not be able to see it on the thing here, but I did leave a very light pencil line. I don't like lips completely outlined in black, and that's just a personal pet peeve. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and fill this in now. Yes, very true, Central Park. Alright, so now I'm using R56. So it's a little bit like a desaturated maroon color, if such a thing were to exist. Or if that's even the right wording for it. So I'm just using that to make her lips a little bit darker so that they pop out, but only in certain places. You're right, Kylie. She does have a piercing on her lip, and I forgot to draw that in. So I will do that right now. Let's get a nice thin pen. All right, I'm gonna use the Copic multi-liner number 0.1. She does have the skin spike right there. I need to give her the 2 spikes over her eyebrow and the one on her lip. Well, let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. The rest I'll handle with highlight colors. And then she has one right here. There we go. And she has 2 piercings right there over her eyebrow. And I think I want to get, I don't know, a little bit thicker eyelashes here. I think her eyes are just a little bit too wide open for me now. Let's just close those up a little bit. And I still need to give her her red eyes and all of that, which I will do. Yeah, that looks better. The other spike on this side, technically maybe we would see a little tiny bit poking into her eye, but I think it could really mess up her face. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of artistic liberty and say it wouldn't be visible under the bridge of her nose. It may or may not, and if it was, depending on how long those things are, it would look very odd, like something was wrong with her eye in this particular situation. There we go. Aw, thank you, Mr. E. Drawing Chaos, maybe? Zeos? Hello, thank you so much for being here. That's right, nothing wrong with thick, fluffy lashes, especially for a character like her. It's kind of perfect. All right, guys, I have just a couple more minutes left, so I'm gonna do the white right here for some little bit of shine. There we go. And then we'll do some right here too. These are so tiny, that's pretty much all I can do is just the highlights. There we are. And then let's get I left this strand of hair white and uncolored so that I could color her skin without accidentally pulling black into the skin color. Now I can go ahead and fill that in. Yay, I'm so glad I got it right. Thank you so much, Drawing Chaos. So I'm using T7, which is honestly just a guess. I don't remember what colors I was using last time. Probably T6. In which case I've got this a little bit wrong, but whatever. And let's get some T9. Be super dark. I'm on the fence about it, Kylie, because, you know, I've been looking at a lot more pictures of Hellwitch, and I don't see the purple anywhere in her hair. So maybe it's something that was like in my art notes, but then they decided not to use it, and I accidentally have it in my art notes. I'm not sure. I need to check. But it seems to me like the purple is not really being done a ton. Maybe I should go back and recheck the art notes, because maybe I'm completely wrong about the purple and I just imagined it. That would really be a fail. Though it has happened. Like, I wrote in my email yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? The day before yesterday, that I was doing the Zenescope Calgary cover with patch. And that honestly was just a knee-jerk reaction because I always have a patch, but this time I actually don't have a patch. So I'm only doing the one cover, which is actually really nice. So I have, I should probably confirm this and make sure that she does indeed need to have purple in her hair. But I swear to God, it looks more brown in most of the pieces that I've been looking at for ref. Oh, you're so welcome, Richie, and thank you so much for being here. Have a fun Valentine's. All right, 2 more minutes, so it's time for me to sign off. I've kind of pushed it right to the edge of my time because I have to have dinner ready in half an hour. So I don't think I have time to do a raid because I like to stick around and, you know, see the person's art, and there's usually a little bit of like conversing that you want to have, and I don't have enough time. So we won't be raiding tonight, but I'll try to do raids the next few times to make up for it. And I will sign off for today, and just so you guys know, for the record, my plan is to get back on schedule and go live tomorrow. And if I have approvals and everything ready for streaming the cover, I will start with that. If I don't have all the information and everything ready to stream the Zenescope cover, I'll work on some more Hellwitch blanks and stuff like that. So I'll just keep you guys posted. We'll be working on one of these things. And yeah, I just saw the thing flash green. I got no idea with that. But thank you all so much for being here. You all rock a ton. I'm so glad you like the wings, Kylie. Thank you, darling. And have a fantastic Valentine's Day evening, and, you know, eat a giant bowl of ice cream. And eat it for me because I'm still on no sugar and it's a real bummer. Anyway, I love you all a ton. If you are trying to get a sketch for a show, or whatever the case may be, make sure to sign up to my email list. It's scroll down, subscribe. I love you all a ton. See you later. Catch you tomorrow, hopefully.